stupid and right situation conscious. If you play the game, you're apparently a saint and do no wrong. If you still play the game, you're suddenly the worst person alive. People who play the game are getting harassed. They're getting death threats. They're being told to kill themselves. They're being told that what happened to the victim should happen to them too. And the craziest part, a lot of these people getting harassed are children. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Children. Children are being told to kill themselves over a Roblox game. How are you going to sit there and preach about protecting victims and doing the right thing and then turn around and tell a literal kid that they deserve to die because they play our Roblox game? What is wrong with you? I don't care whether you quit the game or not. That is your decision. If you don't want to play it anymore, that's completely okay. But the second you start threatening people because they made a different choice than you, you've completely lost whatever moral high ground you thought you had. You don't get to act morally superior while sending threats. You don't get to say you're standing up against abuse while becoming someone else's abuser. That is not advocacy. That is harassment. Before anyone twists my words, no, this is not me defending Clover. This is not me saying that I support grooming. This is not me saying that I don't care about the allegations or the people who came forward. I am saying that children or anybody should not be receiving death threats because they play a game. Those are two completely different conversations. And it's honestly so exhausting that anytime someone says, hey, let's maybe not harass people, the immediate response is, oh, so you support Quell? No, I support not telling kids to kill themselves. I support not creating new victims just because you're angry. Even Joji has publicly asked people not to harass others over the situation, so why are we just ignoring that? Some of you have convinced yourselves that because you're on the right side, anything you do is automatically justified, and it's not. If you genuinely think that it's acceptable to threaten, bully, or harass someone over a game, you seriously need to reevaluate yourself. Because this isn't justice. This isn't supporting victims. This is a terrible situation as an excuse to be cruel. Everyone is allowed to make their own decisions. You don't have to agree with them. You can disagree. You can criticize them. You can even stop being friends with them if it's that important to you. What you don't get to do is threaten them. You don't get to tell them to kill themselves. And you especially don't do that to children. If you actually care about protecting victims, stop making new ones.
What the absolute fuck is going on? I have not been in Dandy's role any longer than any of you guys have. I started getting out of the fandom after hearing what happened and blah blah blah. Personally, if you think it's okay to send literal fucking death threats to a 10-year-old or younger, you is not a saint. You are not a saint. You are not a savior. You are nobody. You're just somebody who just saw somebody and went, oh, I'm gonna do this and hope I become a good person. You're not becoming a good person. You're becoming more of a dick. And the more of you becoming a dick, the more people don't want to fucking talk to you. To the point where people are like, holy fuck. And there are people who are like, oh, I'm gonna defend this person and then instantly get yelled at for defending Quill. Quill did the bullshit she did. She did what she had to. Well, not really, because she's being a dick, and she won't take cover to what she did. She won't do anything about it, and she hasn't said a single fucking thing. Neither of you guys are doing anything. This isn't a black and white conversation anymore. This is now I'm gonna put you all to fucking court conversation because you order how to be good people and not send fucking death threats to little kids. Is there anything else I need to say? Because last time I fucking checked, there shouldn't be a point where you send literal fucking death threats to somebody because they play a game that isn't about what's fucking happening. If any of this keeps going, this is gonna point where Roblox and anyone else part of the Danny's World community or anybody that is higher up than us will have to get involved, aka Roblox, Quill, the court, and anyone fucking else. Last time I checked, anybody who got in this badly into a video game to the point where there's black and white sides, and the black and white sides start merging into one dark gray, instead of this beautiful light gray of, oh, you can't send death threats to a fucking child, but you can send death threats to anybody else, is not a point. You shouldn't be sending death threats in general. You shouldn't be doing anything that causes you thinking you're a good person for sending death threats to anybody. If you tell anybody else about death threats and anything else, you're not a person that should be a good person. You're just a person who is terrible in general. This generation is dying because of people to send death threats to a literal child who doesn't know what the fuck is going on. If you think it's a good idea to do anything like that, then congratulations, go to pit of hell. You're not going to heaven for bullshit like that. And there isn't even a heaven anyways. You should just go down a pit of hell and stay there until you learn your fucking lesson. I don't know why people think this is a good idea, and it never is. Thank you to the original person who posted the video, boosted it, and spread awareness. Thank you to the person who has done this. This original video belongs to the person from the beginning. And I have to say this again. If you think it's a good idea to send death threats to anybody, you're not a good person. Goodbye and see you later, my little starlights.